New EJ loves the internet. How you guys doing? I'm your host, Ernest EJ Christian. It is the oh, a little louder than that. Come on, man. What are we doing here? Come on, let's go. It is the 17th edition of EJ loves the internet. I almost didn't do a show this week, man. I was very close to not doing a pod, but I got a second win today, so therefore we get us in. As I told you guys last week, like if I decide not to do a podcast, one of these shows. Once a week, one time in a week, it'll happen. This will be one of those like game time decisions you will. Because again, this. Let me remind you guys. I enjoy doing this segment. I enjoy doing this, but there is a lot of work that goes into it and prepping. So, and because this is not the only show on the feed on the channel, this is probably of all the shows we do here. Is probably the least priority of all, but we still press on. So, like I said, I won't know. I won't know until like 2 days before I put the show to publish if I'm going to do it or not. But we're going to do it now, and we're going to continue to push as much as we can. So, let's get the first video to react to here on the show as we get started on our 17th edition of EJ on the Internet. We got here video wise. What do we got going on here? Why is it going slow? Hold on. This is going a little slow. I don't like that. All right, hold on. No good. Not going slow. Okay, hold on. All right, finally got the work. All right. First video of the show. Where's it at? Sorry. All right, here we go. Ooh. The top 10 women that got us through puberty. This should be fun.
That helped us through puberty. Women on the silver screen.
Yeah.
They were larger than life. TV as well, and the Lil' Kim poster. Lil' Kim's number one for me.
That poster was perfect.
And I couldn't
Lil'
have
Kim,
that poster.
Yeah.
But my homeboy had it.
Man.
Can I spend the night? What time you going to bed?
You was the man looking at the Lil' Kim poster like.
What? I said, you shouldn't even be able to sell this.
Yeah, I remember that when that post came out first back in the day. Man, that Lil' Kim thing was so controversial back in 1995. Oh my lord. I was never really a big Lil' Kim person. I thought she was cute, but I was never really a big Lil' Kim person. I was about 15 years old when I discovered her, really, honestly. But I mean, she's great. Obviously, as a rapper, I think she's very underrated as a rapper, honestly, straight up. But all right, next one, number 2,
Pam Grier.
Oh yeah,
Pam.
grown woman from birth.
A little bit before my time, but I know who Pam Grier is, and I know a lot of men, a little older than me, swear by her. I know my dad. I don't know if my dad necessarily did. Maybe my dad did say something about her back in the day, but a lot of men, a generation above me, have swore by Pam Grier and her beauty.
Pamela Grier.
What's the thing that what you see her in?
When I seen her and them, older uncles and dads watching them blaxploitation.
Yeah, she was sexy.
They watching Coffee and all that, and she just showing them things and just like. Because Pam Grier was going to show you them tilties. She was like, look, I'm in the movie. You going to see these. And they were fantastic. I was a man.
Tony,
glasses was just Pamela Grier.
This person is specific to this movie and this scene for me. Jada Pinkett.
Uh-huh.
Jason's lyric.
Yeah, Jada before she went crazy was that girl. I remember watching her in different world back in the day. The movie she did, Jason's lyric and all the other stuff. I thought she was pretty hot, and then she went crazy.
Alan Payne.
Is it the cash register joint
No,
or in the
it's
field?
the field.
The cash register was the one,
man.
because they was smashing in the cash register.
Field, he dragged
They was
a
making
gold
love, though.
necklace through her butt.
Yeah,
What?
Along the back, it went up through the butt. I
I don't think I've ever seen Taste Like before, so I can't speak on that. But that sounds fucking crazy.
said, "Oh my God, I want that chain."
Yeah.
I said, "I love you."
He had leaves in his crack. Though.
Man, who
That
cares?
took-
I'm not checking his crack
That took
out,
me
man.
out of it though.
I'm not
man. Leaves in his crack. I don't know if a lot of y'all are gonna remember this individual. Her name is Tia Carrere.
Oh my
She
Lord!
was Wayne's
Tia Career,
girlfriend.
yes, that's one of my favorites. One of my absolute favorites growing up. The one movie that I remember more than anything else that was like, oh my God, I'm in love with her. The Teacher's Wife, right? It was a show. It was a movie with Jeremy. I can't remember his last name. He was a brother of a famous actor, Jeremy. I can't remember his name. Anyway, it was in 1995 that came out, and a movie I saw back in the late 90s. But it came out mid 90s, and she played the wife of this kid's teacher, and I guess the teacher and her were not having a good marriage at the time, and they ended up having sex and having a little affair. And I guess I remember if the teacher found out. I think he did find out, but she eventually left him. But there's a couple scenes there where, like, obviously this is like softcore porn, I'm gonna call that, but it's not nothing serious. But it was rated R. But for 95, of course. But man, it's a scene where, like, she had her legs out and stuff. Like, oh my gosh, it was so sexy. Oh, I love Tia Career. That's one of my girls.
In Wayne's World,
Oh yeah,
to me, she was hotter than fish grease.
yeah.
Yes, she
I
was.
was just like, and she was in this movie called Showdown in Little Tokyo, and there was a scene in there where she got in the hot tub, and I was like,
The glasses take off.
what we talking about, show.
Yes, sir.
As a child, I was enthralled with Cindy Crawford.
Mhm.
Okay?
Yes.
But then I saw Holly Berry, and I was like, "Excuse me, Cindy."
Oh my Lord.
Yeah.
And Halle Berry just turned 60 a couple days ago, as I was recording, and she still looks pretty good for her age. That girl is. You want to talk about sexy? Oh my Lord.
Halle
My name's
Berry.
Kevin. I love you. Pamela Anderson.
Oh yeah, Pam was getting,
Baywatch Pam, she was running. Nobody
So I gotta
in
be
the
honest with you,
water.
Pam Anderson back in the day, I never got it at first. Like, I knew she was sexy, but she was a quintessential white boy pinup girl, with big boobs and whatever, blonde and whatever. But I was never into that kind of stuff. Like, I had a very wide range of women I liked as a kid. I didn't say she wasn't attractive, but she wasn't, like, to me, like, I wasn't like everybody else who was goo goo gaga over this one person. You know what I'm saying? As I've gotten older, I've appreciated her now more. Now I'm saying, like, now I'm talking about looking back how she looked back then. I'm saying I appreciate it a little more as I got older, but she wasn't my cup of tea as in the same way. Like, she was definitely hot, but she was definitely, like, she was the number one girl back in the 90s. Like, I mean, asked back in 1994, 1995, 1996. Who's the hottest girl in the industry? It's Pam Anderson. Was the standard. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I got it, but I didn't get it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Pam was killing it.
Pamela Anderson, she.
You putting her on there?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm putting Salma Hayek. Okay?
Yes.
Puberty?
Yes.
What was she in?
And From Dusk Till Dawn.
Oh,
And
man.
Desperado. Boy, it was a double whammy for me.
Desperado.
I was
She's
like,
still gorgeous.
Who is this woman and where did man? And that scene in From Dusk Till Dawn when she
Yeah.
was at the strip club with the snake. It was, how they be sitting in the front row at the strip club and they just be whatever you want to do to me, ma'am. That was me in the movie theater. I was.
She was
sitting
so
there like I
hot
was
in
in
that
the
movie, my
ticket
God.
blister for real. I was like, you could put your foot right in my mouth. Tyra Banks, man. Tyra Banks did it for me.
Sports Illustrated.
Everybody loved Tyra Banks. She was a quintessential hot girl too, also in the late 90s. Back in the day. She was cool. Like, I like Tyra, but Tyra to me was like Pam Anderson. Like, she was my number one. She was everybody else's number one, but not my number one.
Yeah, Tyra Banks for me,
in
dog.
Sports Illustrated.
Those eyes and that heavy top.
Janet Jackson.
Oh,
There
yeah,
we
I was about to do it too.
When she was in her R&B bag,
Man.
Yeah.
in those videos, Gary Dordan.
That's the way love goes, Janet.
Yes. Oh, don't get me started. Janet era, 93, the golden era. More than any era. The Again video and the other video with Anytime, Any Place. Bruh. Just saying. Whew. Janet in the mid 90s, elite.
The Janet album, Janet.
That's
She
right.
made Jennifer Lopez look pedestrian.
She was.
Vanity.
Yes!
Vanity is the woman.
There it
when
is.
you-
My first celebrity crush of all time. Everybody knows the story about that. My first crush of all ever in my life was Vanity's. Vanity, of course, Denise Williams. She was in the movie The Last Dragon. That's why my first ever celebrity crush was her. her life ended tragically. She turned her life around, but she I guess she got cancer or something like that. But she died like 2002, I think it was. But man, I was in love with her back in the day. Oh my
bring
god!
out even women be like,
Yeah.
whoo.
That's
Everybody is whoo on Vanity.
for sure.
Oh my lord, that was awesome. I think that's Kevin on stage doing this this video, I believe. But yeah, whew. I should do a top 10 one of these days. Do a top, or maybe give a top 5 hottest women growing up. Some of those girls might be on my list. I know Vanity was number on my list because she was my first. Vanity was my first I ever like, you know what I mean, that kind of thing. But yeah, I might do a top 5 one of these days. I'm one of the solo pods. Do a top 5 girls I went through puberty with, and just give me a little idea about where I was back in the day. All right, next video here on the docket. A video, here it is. Is Taylor Swift a psyop? Let's see.
Taylor Swift, and I'm just always going to say she's a psyop.
And what is she trying to do? What's she trying to do?
I think Taylor Swift keeps young women stupid. I really think that she gives this like faux feminist image. And so I think young women look at her and think that's feminism. And I guess if that's your brand of feminism, great, but it's not.
So you think that she's trying to shepherd in or re-shepherd in the nuclear family? That she's a horseman of the...
I think so now, especially what's the name of the guy she's dating? And she's becoming kind of this like MAGA, like...
Well, married to.
Like icon kind of in a way that Sydney Sweeney has become, but like Taylor Swift more so because she has always been that like Americana golden girl.
I never got the whole MAGA thing. Like first off, she actually endorsed Kamala Harris for president 2 years ago. So where's this whole thing about MAGA? I swear, as someone who's a left-leaning guy, you know, center left guy, some of you lefties are fucking stupid. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you want someone to be just like all for you or nothing, all or nothing. Like, stop. Like, where do you see MAGA in Taylor Swift? She literally publicly endorsed Kamala Harris 2 years ago for president, and you're sitting there saying she's MAGA? Come on.
It took me a really long time to understand her. Like, why do people like her? What is this? And the answer is she's everything that is just so basic. And
that's the thing. She's relatable. And it's not that complicated. Like, I don't get it either, too, in the sense, because, like, I don't think the music or the product she puts out measures the output, measures the fan or the support she gets and the popularity she has versus the output. I don't think it's on level, in my opinion. That's why I think she's overrated. I don't think she's bad. I like a couple of songs of hers, but the reason she's so big is it's not that complicated, guys. It's because she's relatable. People don't relate to Beyonce. People don't relate to people of that nature. They're not relatable. Beyonce carries herself like a queen, if you will. Taylor does not. And young girls girls at any age at this point like that. They want someone who's on level with them, who they can relate to. That's why. That's why. So you answer your own question.
Mediocre, and so young women can look up to that, and I think that is part of the psyop. Like, just be basic. Don't really be any more than that.
Yeah, well, but that's what the market. I don't have to like it or not. You don't have to like it either. But that's what the market calls for, and the market likes that. If you're basic and simple, chances are in 2026 you will be very popular. People want someone that's relatable to and accessible. And Taylor Swift, like her or not, is both. Like, you'll never see Taylor Swift. You'll never see Beyonce at a Target, ever at a Target. But Taylor Swift, you're likely going to see her at a Target. And that's why she's relatable, and that's why she sells records. That's simple. All right, next video. Michael Irvin is a gift to all sports media.
History, let's go into history. Don't just go to your history. Let's go to their history. This is what's wrong with today. The young ladies today, they're not learning from mom how to cook. We're losing recipes. And now we're going to lose Peter Manny's knowledge. Nobody believes in you. What are you prepared to do about it? Don't let no one come into your house. Take your meal. Do what you need to do today. I'm not nervous. I'm just telling you. Finger licking good special. That's what I'm talking about. Where the Cowboys will rightfully regain and take their proper spot among kings. Do you hear me? Regain and take their proper spot among the kings.
This dude is the biggest Cowboy homer, and you know I hate the Cowboys, but he's one of probably the only Cowboy and Hurricane alum, Miami Hurricanes alum, Dallas Cowboys Hall of Famer, that I respect because he's real. You know, when I watch him on TV or watch him, whatever it may be, I worry about him. It's like, dude, you're gonna get a fucking heart attack the way you're yelling and reacting. But the dude's in tremendous shape for his age. He's what, 57 years old. He's I don't know, I find the guy entertaining, dude. Like, I'm looking forward to watch his commentary this year during the football season. Definitely, I think it's entertaining as hell. So, all right, next video here. Here's a video on why grunge actually hurt, not helped rock music.
Sucked, and you all pretended it was good because it was sad. Grunge didn't save rock, grunge ruined it. It took the most fun technical genre on the planet and made it whiny, lazy, and boring. In 1987, you had to sing like Coverdale and shred like Eddie, or you didn't get signed. 92's version was play 4 chords out of tune, look homeless and mumble, and you called it genius, and record labels said perfect, that's cheaper. If you think Nevermind is better than Out of the Cellar or Under Lock and Key, you're literally saying McDonald's is better than a steak because it's faster.
Yeah, well, music is it's personal. Yeah, is grunge simpler? Yes. But just like I mentioned with the Taylor Swift segment there, sometimes simple is more. Sometimes less is more. Like, I recognize hair metal and whatnot is actually better, is more technical than grunge and anything else of that nature. But I don't necessarily like hair metal either. So, as my son's in the background there, you can see him on the screen right there. Hi, Logan. How you doing? You know, it's listen, if you like grunge, love grunge. You don't like grunge, don't like grunge. That's simple. Like, this gatekeeping bullshit, like this people like this do this is ridiculous. And look, I get it. I used to be that way back in the day, but seriously, stop with it. It's bullshit. Like, okay, you like grunge and move on. Listen to your hair metal bullshit. Listen to your Twisted Sister, all that crap, and if that makes you happy, then so be it, man. Who cares? Like, let people like what they like. You know, the market's a market. You know what I'm saying? All right. So, all right. Let's get to the next video here. Next one. Who we got here? Here's a video on why Roman Reigns is not on Hulk Hogan's level. That's what we have to say here.
Oh, Roman Reigns does not compare to Hulk Hogan, not in popularity, not in business, not even close. And this is not a shout out against Roman Reigns because I like Roman Reigns. I love the bloodline story. There's a lot of stuff he's done, but let's not lie here and say that Roman Reigns compares to Hulk Hogan. Conrad Thompson called Roman Reigns probably the most overrated wrestler in WWE history. Eric Bischoff agreed. I agree too. But then I saw fans saying Roman was on Hogan's level, and people saying that Roman was a bigger star than Hulk Hogan. First of all, let's talk about Hulkamania. WWE didn't create Hulkamania. Hogan was a main eventer in the AWA. Hulkamania was born in the AWA in world title matches before he even signed with Vince McMahon's WWF. He was over on day one when he came back in 83 and when he beat the Iron Sheik in 84. That's when everything changed. Toys on the store shelves. You didn't see that until Hulk Hogan came around. A Saturday morning cartoon, you didn't see that with wrestlers in it until Hulk Hogan came around. The MTV connection, Cyndi Lauper had a huge part of that, but Hulk Hogan did too. Of course, others did, but it was Cyndi Lauper and Hulk Hogan. MTV wasn't a powerhouse network yet until that rock and wrestling connection. They helped each other. Here's what people that didn't live through that don't understand. Hogan worked close to 300 days a year, every year, main eventing, sellouts all over the country. Wrestlers have said it for years. If you were on the Hogan card, your payoff was bigger. And you never saw him wrestle on free TV. So 30 seconds of Hogan on WWF Superstars or Wrestling Challenge was a major, major, major deal. You can debate the WrestleMania 3 attendance all you want. 78,000, 93,000, whatever it was unheard of at the time. And when he finally did wrestle on free TV against Andre the Giant on NBC in 1988, again, debated number, whether it was 27, 28 million, whatever it was, or 33 million, which is the widely said number.
Yeah, whatever the number is, it's still a big fucking number. It doesn't matter. It's a big, 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 big number.
It was huge. 33 million on NBC. That is still the most watched wrestling match in American television history. He had 7 straight years on top. Then, of course, things got softened because of the steroid trial and a bunch of other things going on, all the scandals. So people got tired of him. People got tired of the act. He goes to WCW. Even though people got tired of him, business still went up when he was a babyface in WCW during 94 and 95. 96, he turns heel. Boom period. Another boom period. Nobody, not even Stone Cold, can say that they were a part of 2 boom periods.
Yep. And this is why I always say why Hogan's number 1. Like, I've always debated for years who's bigger, Hogan or Austin. To me, number 1 comes down to 2 guys, Hogan and Austin. And while I agree Austin had the highest peak of popularity, because I think to this day he is the most popular superstar in the history of pro wrestling by virtue of, people still cheer him in a way where it's still the loudest pop. Hulk Hogan changed the business not once, but twice. The 2 biggest boom periods in the history of pro wrestling were all led by Hulk Hogan. Hulkamania era, of course, where it became more mainstream. And then the Monday Night Wars, which was triggered by Hogan's heel turn at Bash at the Beach 1996. So Hulk Hogan is still, to this day, the most influential wrestling star in the history of the business. That cannot be debated whatsoever. Whether you love him or hate him. You can hate him all you want, but the facts are facts.
In professional wrestling history. Now, in the 80s, the money was tickets and pay-per-views. Every single day there was pressure to sell, which meant fans had to be deeply invested in the top guy. Today, the money is in TV deals, Saudi Arabia. It's a totally different business. And look, Roman Reigns is good. I think he's good on TV. I think he's a good character. There are some things I would change, but overall, what he's doing is working for Roman Reigns. It's working for WWE. WWE is better with him, but he didn't transform the business,
right?
Especially not like Hulk Hogan did. Comparing him to Hulk Hogan is BS. And if you didn't live through Hulkamania, you don't know what you are talking about. So if you got something to say about that, let me know in the comments and send this to somebody who watched Hulk Hogan back in the day. And let me know. I want to hear what everybody has to say about this, whether you like Hulk Hogan, don't like Hulk Hogan. But if we're just talking about business-wise, there's nobody that compares to Hulk Hogan. Bruno Sammartino, Stone Cold are in that category. Roman Reigns is not.
Right. Totally agree with you on that. And this is all sparked from the comments that Eric Bischoff and really Conrad Thompson, their podcast, made last week about the fact that they believe Roman Reigns is the most overrated main eventer in the history of pro wrestling. And again, I already spoke my piece on the False Count Anywhere podcast from last week on that. We did a whole run about that last week with Rob the Genius and our boy DJ Minter as a guest appearance on the show. But again, as someone who's been watching wrestling since the 80s, it's like if you're younger, you have to be there. To understand the Hogan movement, you have to be there, I guess. Because I lived through it all. I lived through the Hogan moment. I lived through Monday Night Wars. I lived through Austin. I lived through a little bit of Cena. Now I'm going to Roman. And Roman's great. Roman's top 10, in my opinion. He's not the GOAT. He's not in the conversation yet. He's top 10, probably closer to 7 or 8. But he's moving up. But Roman, and granted, I will give Roman this much credit. That storyline from 2020, 2024, the Bloodline storyline, head of the table, tribal chief, it did definitely help the business. It did definitely help the WWE turn a fortune again. But it's a different model. Hulk Hogan did that. Same thing Roman's doing. He did it twice. Okay? He's the only guy that put Vince McMahon in the corner for 83 weeks. Because that was all led by Hulk Hogan's heel turn. Hulk Hogan's the greatest of all time. You don't have to like the guy, but Hulk Hogan is the absolute greatest of all time. Okay? So that's just that. All right, next video here. Let's see. We got. Oh, here's our Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, giving praise to Tupac Shakur. This is shocking, actually.
Of all time?
Yeah.
I mean, just from an artistic standpoint, where obviously he would never live long enough to know what he would have turned into, but Tupac was very, very talented. I thought, and he was actually very talented, not just, people forget, I mean, he was like trained to be an actor as well. I think he went to like that school in New York, or it was in Baltimore. I forgot exactly where he went to high school, but he went to an artistic high school, and you could see that later on when he played a number of roles in a number of movies over the years, including the one with Janet Jackson, that he was a good actor, he was a good lyricist in terms of the lyrics that he wrote.
That was kind of cool, man. Seeing Marco Rubio talk hip hop, not bad. I mean, Marco Rubio's what, maybe a couple of years older than me, maybe. So he would be definitely of that era in the same way. So good on him, man. That's good. All right, next video. Oh, here's a video on how we 90s wrestling fans used to watch WWE pay-per-views back in the day. You kids should appreciate this.
We watched WrestleMania in the 90s. Nope, not joking. Let me explain.
Sure, right.
So if you couldn't afford the pay-per-view, you flip the channel anyways and watch it scrambled. Wavy lines, the warped colors. Every few minutes, a picture would come up almost clear for a second, and you'd swear you'd see Bret Hart or Shawn Michaels or The Undertaker. But here's the thing. The audio came through clean. Cable companies scrambled the picture, not the sound. So we sat there listening to WrestleMania or SummerSlam or Survivor Series, staring at static, using our imagination.
Oh my God.
Some of us would even tape the broadcast on audio on a cassette. So the prices for the shows were $29.95. That's why WWF launched In Your House in 1995. It was a budget pay-per-view, and even that went up to $19.95
yep.
over the years. Then it became 3 hours, then it became $29.95. So now, if you didn't watch it scrambled, here's how you found out what happened on the pay-per-view. Unless you heard it from a friend, you weren't getting to the results until you watched one of the syndicated shows, Superstars Challenge, or later on, beginning 93, Monday Night Raw. You'd get still photos on the shows. So basically screenshots of the pay-per-view, no actual footage, just photos. They protected that footage hard, big time.
They did.
So maybe weeks later, you get maybe a short clip from one of the matches or a clip or two from one of the matches. The only way to actually see the full show, if you weren't trading tapes with someone, the local video store or Blockbuster.
Oh my God.
Months later, that was how you watched it. It was basically on VHS tape. So there was one way to get a taste for free. The TV Guide channel, the channel basically had a scrolling cable listing like your cable TV would have right now. And they would show the free-for-all pay-per-view in the corner of the screen. So you'd watch the free preview in the little box while the TV listing scrolled by. There were no streaming apps back then. And if you missed it, you basically had to wait. So if you were around back then, let me know. Be honest. Did you ever watch a pay-per-view scrambled? What's the first one you remember? Tell me in the comments, because I know I'm not the only one.
Oh, you were definitely the only one. I can tell you the events. I remember watching King of the Ring 1993, Hogan's last match, scrambled in WWE for his first run. I remember watching WrestleMania 8 scrambled. I remember watching WrestleMania 9 scrambled. I remember watching a bunch of PL in houses scrambled back in the day. Bro, we were poor. We were fucking poor. And not that we were poor. My mom would not even allow that shit in the house anyway. I wasn't even allowed to watch wrestling for a good portion of my childhood. Okay, so she wouldn't even fathom paying that kind of money for PLE. You kidding me? Bro, I tell my kids all the time, you guys don't know how good you guys have it. Like, we sit here and watch, whatever. Now, my house ESPN, unfortunately, but when the network existed, like, it was so easy. Just turn on the network and have every freaking event at your disposal. Or the PLE's on at a time, in real time. You're able to watch it. My kids don't know that stuff, man. My kids don't know, honestly, they don't know any form of appointment television whatsoever. Like, I think the only thing they watch is when they want to sports or the Thanksgiving Day parade. Everything else they watch is pretty much on demand and when they want to. What a world we lived in, dude. What a world we lived in back in the day. My gosh. We've come a long way from the 90s. God, bro, there was so many PLS I watched on Scramble. But the thing is, you can always also know what's going on because he was right. They scrambled the video, but the audio was crystal clear. So, man, those good old days, bro. Anyway, next video. Oh, here's a video about marriage in a courthouse.
These courthouse marriages seem to last longer than these people having these big, beautiful weddings. I'll share a story with you. Back when I was in the military, Justice and I, we were part of this trio of couples. The other two, it seems like their life looked just like a Pinterest board. They had the beautiful wedding rings. They had the 5-star looking pictures. Photos looked like a Hollywood premiere. Whole time, Justice and I, we just walked into a courthouse, signed the papers, and said, let's just thug this shit out until we win, all right? I used to feel like we were failing and falling behind because we weren't flexing. While they were posting happily ever after trailers, we were just trying to figure out how to fucking pay the bills for our kids. Yep. I felt like we skipped the real level of marriage. But now, fast forward a decade later, these perfect marriages that were dead. And yet, here we are still standing. See, too many people fall in love with the ceremony and completely ignore the consistency. They want the ring, they want the look, but they don't want the relationship work. They invest in the event, but don't invest into the commitment. We didn't have a spotlight. We had a life to build. So if you are willing to build first and celebrate the fuck later, you're actually building a foundation that can hold the weight of an actual legacy. And I know I just said one of the homies from the shame of a small start and the debt of a big mistake. So Venmo or PayPal me $5. Better yet, just go get the 7-day life reset.
And it's funny, like, I remember my sister, who she had a big wedding, and granted, she's still married, happily married today, 22 years later, 3 great kids, one's in college already, 2, I mean, amazing. She had a big wedding. And she said to this guy, she actually regrets it. Because not because she didn't enjoy herself, but she enjoyed the wedding, but she also didn't get a chance to really enjoy what she wanted to because it was so much invested in that wedding that the wedding and the ceremony was for everybody else. She said she'd rather put that money into traveling and getting married on having a destination wedding and getting married on her own. And I feel that. I had a wedding in private. We had a ceremony though. We did save a lot of money though. I will say we did cut a lot of our losses. Not losses. We did make a lot of cuts to keep a wedding relatively affordable. But even then, looking back, I would have done the same thing. Courthouse and done. Laura and I will say all the time. We would as easily as got into a courthouse, said I do, and then go travel somewhere. That simple. I find big weddings overrated. I'm not saying don't do it. What I'm saying to you is people put so much effort into the wedding, not realizing that everything is about the relationship. We're now going 20 years together, 15 years married. We have our bumps and bruises, obviously. But the main thing is the relationship. That's the main thing. Not the wedding, not the ceremony, none of that stuff. People got all fucking twisted, bro. People got all twisted. So, great video there by Devin Linder. There. I really enjoy his work, by the way. All right, next video. Let me see what we got here. Oh, here is Seal. Remember the artist Seal? Talk about Nirvana and Pearl Jam.
oh, they're cool. Have you heard of this band called Alice in Chains? And I went, well, no. And he put on Man in a Box, and that was it. I heard Lane's voice, Lane and Jerry singing together with those close harmonies, and yes. And so out of that whole grunge period, they were by far my favorite, and I think the most underrated Alice in Chains. Now, there were some great songs on here, like the obvious one being Rooster, you know, which Jerry wrote about his father coming home from Vietnam. I love the artistry, obviously, but there's a real sexiness to their music. It's dark, it's beautiful, it's melancholic, but it's really sexy. And
yeah, this is actually on Alice in Chains, actually. We've been having some debates lately on the show a little bit. Like, I remember on the Metallica Music Lounge we did a week ago, rather, discussing 1991 and and grunge and all this stuff, and those bands, the big four, big five grunge bands, and obviously Nirvana's there, and Pearl Jam, and then you have Alice in Chains. And Alice in Chains, to me, I've always viewed Alice in Chains, even though they're grunge, I've always viewed Alice in Chains more metal. They had a lot more darker theatrics, darker sound of those bands. Lane Staley, of course, passed away of overdose in 2002. But I've always been a big Alice in Chains fan. They definitely rank high among those bands in that genre from that era. They're like number 2 for me, maybe 2 or 3. Next to me, it's Soundgarden, STP, and Alice in Chains in that big mix there. So, but see, here's Seal talk about that. That was pretty cool though. I mean, you never know. Like these guys, some of these artists, you don't think they're into this kind of music. No, dude, they have a big wide range. So, all right, next video. Here is Nick Wright talking LeBron, well, comparing LeBron and Kevin Durant jumping teams.
Wilds made yesterday is the most valid one. It is wildly fascinating that Durant wants to keep having this fight. That it's been 10 years, he won his championships, he left there in sports heroic fashion, going out, on a bad leg to try to win a 3rd straight championship, and tragically blew his Achilles. Never felt he got the respect or love or adoration that he deserved. Correct. And is still fighting that war. Because nobody, some
people are.
No, that's not what I was going to say. I was going to say nobody in their right mind thinks there is an actual valid comparison between where the Warriors were in the summer of 2016 and where the Sixers are in the summer of 2026, and where Kevin Durant was in the NBA hierarchy in the summer of 2016, right, and where LeBron is in the summer of 2026. You're right, Brew, that some people are still throwing the Warriors thing in his face. But I can't imagine that happens to him a lot with people whose names he actually knows. You know what I mean? I think it's just people on the internet.
I think Nick Wright nailed it. Like, how in your right mind, Kevin Durant, can you compare this Sixers team to the Warriors of 2016 when you got there? You do understand that the team you went to in 2016 won a championship 2 years prior, right? And then the very next year won 73 fucking games, okay? An NBA record, and was a game away from winning the whole thing. And at the same time, that season, you go to Golden State, you were recognized as the second best player in the NBA behind LeBron James. And somehow you want to whitewash and make people forget the fact that you went to a team that already won 73 games and a title. Okay, but compared to LeBron going to Philadelphia, who LeBron, by the way, is 41 years old, playing with old ass, playing with injured, always injured Joel Embiid, and players like Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, only 1 year in his career. Jaylen Brown's the only real healthy star on that team right now. I mean, Maxey is too also. How can you, in your right mind, compare that team to the Warriors of 2016? Like, you've got to be trolling, KD. Like, you're better off not saying anything, dude. Just take look. You decide what you want to decide. You made your bed. You won 2 titles with that team. Just get over it. People like me and everybody else are going to look at you funny. I'm sorry. It's all right. You have to like it, but it's all right. Like, come on, get over it, bro. Like, I don't know why you're so mad about something that you clearly decided on. Silly, dude. So silly. All right, next video. 2 more to go. Get out of here. Here is Scottie Pippen on the PBD podcast on why he's actually more important than LeBron James. This will be interesting because Pippen be saying some wacky shit, bro.
Put yourself ahead of LeBron.
As a team standpoint.
Would you put yourself ahead of LeBron as a team standpoint?
My success as a team is more successful than LeBron. I got 6 rings.
Okay, so
lazy. The 6 rings argument, so freaking lazy, man. So lazy, bro. It's so lazy.
If I talk to an NBA owner, by the way, this is very helpful because realize this is very helpful because for me as a fan, I've followed this. So if I speak from an NBA standpoint, owner, and I want to find an all-around player to be my number 1, you think the average owner is going to pick you or LeBron?
Answer's probably Scottie, please.
I don't know.
Bro, you know the answer.
Okay. So that...
You want individual accolades or you want championships? Because I didn't chase mine.
Okay.
So then what was you going to Portland for or Houston then? What are you talking about? Like, do you think when you talk? I'm not even saying that what LeBron did was right or wrong. I'm just saying that how are you going to sit there with a straight face say that I didn't chase mine and meanwhile you go to 2 teams that were actually in contention at the time? What are you talking about? You went to play with Scottie Pippen and Hakeem Olajuwon. And then the Blazer team that was right there for me, NBA championship team. What are you talking about? You're so full of shit, dude. And guess what? You know why I know I'm full of shit? I'm reading your book. I'm actually reading your book, almost done with your book. What are you saying, bro? What are you saying? You're not better than LeBron James. Pippen, look. Scottie is one of the most undervalued players in NBA history. No doubt about that. But Scott, come on. You're the same guy that literally bitched about not getting the ball late in the playoff game. Phil Jackson decided to get the ball to Tony Kukoc. And because of that, you decided to stand on the bench. Stop. You're that guy. Stop it. I respect you. You're one of the all-time greats. Probably the best wing defender in the history of the game. But stop, bro. So full of shit. All right, last one to get out of here. Last video here. Here is Mike Francesa getting a phone call, a caller calling the Francesa show, asking for his thoughts on Ultimate Warrior's death back in 2014.
What's up, Bill?
Hey, Mike, how are you?
Good, what's up?
I just wanted to ask your opinion on something.
Mm-hmm.
With his passing yesterday, where do you rank the Ultimate Warrior among the all-time greats?
I have no idea. I could care less. John in Oxford, what's up, John?
Oh, my God. So I guess clearly Francesa does not watch wrestling. Okay, ready again.
Bill in New Milford, what's up, Bill?
Hey, Mike, how are you?
Good, what's up?
I just wanted to ask your opinion on something.
Mm-hmm.
With his passing yesterday, where do you rank the Ultimate Warrior among the all-time greats?
I have no idea. I could care less. John in Oxford, what's up, John?
That is so freaking mean, bro. But again, I think that phone call's a troll probably, though. But whatever. Anyway, that's it for this week's EJ Loves the Internet here, the 17th edition of the show. I'm on X at EJ Christian number 7. Check out all the content across the pike. Until next episode, we will talk to you guys soon. God bless y'all, and see ya.
Thank you.